There are lots of great values at the wide receiver position in auction drafts in 2025. Let's look at 5 of them. The first wide receiver is Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN. In his second season in the NFL, 2024, JSN finally showed the fantasy world what he was capable of. He brought in 100 receptions for 1,130 receiving yards and 6 touchdowns, leading him to finish as the wide receiver 9 and average 14.9 PPR points per game. He did all of this despite only having a 23.7% team target share, which ranked 33rd in the league. In the 2025 offseason, the Seahawks parted ways with virtually all of JSN's target competition from 2024. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Noah Fant are all now not with the team. This is important because the 3 then combined for 246 targets that are now vacated. To fill this void, the Seahawks did add veteran pass catcher Cooper Kupp. Kupp is now 32 years old and coming off of multiple injury-riddled and disappointing seasons. On top of this, he's no longer with his longtime quarterback Matt Stafford, who peppered him with targets year over year. One of the reasons JSN is underpriced in auction drafts right now is due to the change in quarterback in Seattle. The Seahawks swapped veteran Geno Smith for Comeback Player of the Year finalist Sam Darnold, who was coming off of a career year last season with the Vikings. Darnold is not the same quarterback as he was in New York and Carolina, both terrible situations. If you look at last year's numbers, you can see that Geno Smith and Sam Darnold were almost identical. They averaged the exact same passing yards per game and almost the same exact amount of pass attempts per game. This is important to note because if the passing volume can stay the same in Seattle as it was last season, JSN should expect even more targets, catches, and touchdowns due to all the vacated targets from last year's pass catchers leading the offense. Also, it is worth noting that Darnold was able to support last year's wide receiver 2 and wide receiver 21 in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. The Seahawks also used their 2025 first-round pick on offensive lineman Gray Zabel, who should be a huge help in pass protection for Darnold. In 2025, JSN is still a young, alpha wide receiver that is fresh off his best season ever, with even more targets to work with, and he only costs $28. Very underpriced and should be going for the range of about $36. The next wide receiver we will talk about is Drake London. 2024 was London's breakout season. For the first time, he had competent quarterback play and could give a glimpse into what he was truly capable in fantasy. London finished as the wide receiver 5 and had the 3rd most targets in the league at the wide receiver position with 158. Despite London's career numbers, Kirk Cousins' quarterback play would soon be a factor in the Falcons potentially missing the playoffs, leading them to introduce 2024 first-round pick Michael Penix a little earlier than expected. In the final 3 games of the regular season, London absolutely exploded with Penix in at quarterback. Over this stretch, London averaged 13 targets and 117 receiving yards per game. He also totaled 2 total touchdowns. London in 2024 is a great floor and ceiling combination value. He has shown that even with bad quarterback play, he can still put up wide receiver 1 type numbers. He also has not seen consistent great quarterback play. If London can average similar to what he did with Penix in 2024 for the entirety of the 2025 season, there is no reason that he can't finish as a top 3 wide receiver overall. At an average auction value of $47, he's 100% underpriced. He should be going for closer to the mid-50s, especially given his age, injury history, and his most recent season numbers. Pick up London in your auction drafts today. The next wide receiver in this list is Courtland Sutton. Sutton is coming off his best ever fantasy season. With rookie quarterback Bo Nix, Sutton posted a wide receiver 15 finish and averaged 14.1 PPR points per game. However, if you look at his stats once Bo Nix started to get comfortable as a quarterback in the NFL, they tell a different story. By about week 3, the rookie quarterback was getting comfortable with both head coach Sean Payton and NFL defenses. From week 3 on, with more comfortable quarterback, Sutton started to rack up stats. From this point on, he was the wide receiver 10 and averaged 15.3 points per game. He commanded roughly 8 targets per game and a 25% team target share. The Broncos rewarded their alpha wide receiver with a new contract in the offseason, showing commitment to their wide receiver 1 and added more pieces, especially to their defense around him. Sutton is entering year 2 with a more experienced and comfortable second-year quarterback. We should expect Bo Nix to take another step, especially being mentored by a great head coach, which should lead to more targets, receptions, and touchdown opportunities for Sutton. While Sutton is not expected to finish in that upper echelon of wide receivers in fantasy, his current average auction value is only $12, a complete steal, and he should be going for nearly double this. Spending 6% of your budget on a high-end wide receiver 2 to low-end wide receiver 1 is great business. The only rookie making this list is Tedora McMillan of the Carolina Panthers. McMillan had an incredible college career for Arizona. He had 84 plus receptions, 1,300 plus yards, and 8 plus touchdowns in both of his final 2 seasons in college, which is probably why Carolina drafted him 8th overall in this year's draft. Now, if we take a look at every receiver drafted 8th overall or better since 2020 and where they finished in their rookie year, we get these results. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Drake London, Jalen Waddle, and Jamar Chase. As you can see, 60% of these receivers finish as the wide receiver 13 or better. McMillan has a real possibility to finish as a wide receiver 1 this season. McMillan was drafted this high for a reason. The Panthers needed an extra receiver who could consistently get open, make contested catches, and score touchdowns, all of which McMillan did successfully in college. Day 1, McMillan is the wide receiver 1 in an offense that towards the end of 2024 showed real progress, especially their 2023 first overall pick quarterback, Bryce Young. If Young can bring last season's momentum into this season, the Panthers could turn a lot of heads, and most likely, that will mean McMillan will be the benefactor. McMillan has a price tag of roughly only $8, and for a player with his potential, he should be going for around $17. This is a great deal at the wide receiver position. The final player we're talking about is Jacobi Meyers. Meyers is one of the least talked about players in fantasy football, and his current auction value proves this. His 2024 stats tell a different story, however. Last season, Meyers posted a wide receiver 19 finish. He averaged 14.5 PPR points per game, and he went over 1,000 receiving yards. He averaged 8.6 targets per game, which ranked him 11th in the league at the position. In 2025, Meyers gets the best quarterback he's had since he arrived in Las Vegas with new quarterback Geno Smith. Geno is coming off a season where he threw for over 4,000 yards and supported a wide receiver 1 in Jackson Smith-Njigba. If Geno can replicate what he was able to do most of the years in Seattle, Meyers will see a good increase in targets, receptions, and touchdowns. Meyers put up a top 20 finish despite only catching 4 receiving touchdowns, which is more down to the terrible quarterback play, which led to drives getting shut down before they could even get near the end zone. Meyers is one of the safest values at the wide receiver position in fantasy drafts in 2025. He currently has an average auction value of only $6 when he should be going closer to that $12 range. Meyers has all the signs pointing to an improvement to his 2024 season, and for his current price, it's a no-brainer. Make sure to check out the channel for more auction draft videos. Also, the 2025 Auction Advantage cheat sheet is available in the description below. Until the next time, peace.